take place. And the other thing that we really appreciate is the quick evacuation plan the school districts have in place that really assist us.
Cause of the fire here under investigation, but fire officials say the dust that the collector sucks up from the wood shop is flammable, is a flammable substance, so it's not yet clear how much damage was done. Well, we've had a lot of snow here statewide. Southern Utah getting in the action today, northern Utah previously. What is heading our way? For that, let's send things over to meteorologist Chase Thomason.
Big snow down in southern Utah, by far the biggest snowstorm of the season. Take a look, New Harmony in Washington County reporting 18 inches overnight. Storm totals over 2 feet of snow. That's just up the road from St. George, of course, higher elevation. Temperatures for today, it has been a chilly one. It's really feeling like winter across the state with highs in the 20s and 30s in northern and central Utah. St. George hit 49 degrees. Hey, you got over a quarter inch of rain over the last 24 hours. Bundle up if you have any evening plans. Those temperatures are getting pretty cold. We're seeing clearing conditions. Drier air is moving in. By 9 o'clock, we're at 29 degrees, and those skies continue to clear. And look at that temperature. By tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up into the low to mid 20s with those clear skies. I'm tracking our next weather maker. It looks like a big ridge of high pressure. I'll let you know when it will slide in and how it might impact your weather this weekend and next week. Coming up in my first alert forecast.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court.
Big news from the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices ruled 6-3 that most of President Trump's tariffs are unconstitutional. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion saying the International Energy Economic Powers Act does not give the White House power to impose tariffs. In response, President Trump says he will use other laws to keep all of his tariffs in place. He's also imposing a new 10% global tariff.
Alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected. We have alternatives, great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money.
Today's ruling comes after small businesses and a group of states filed a lawsuit hoping to get the tariffs blocked. For nearly a year, Utah businesses have had to navigate the impacts of these tariffs. Some blame tariffs for price increases. 2 News spoke with a business owner here in Salt Lake about how tariffs impacted them and what they hope this new SCOTUS ruling means for the future.
The reciprocal tariffs impacted our businesses in a big way, and some are much more than 15%. The reciprocal tariffs on a very near and dear supplier to us in Brazil are 50%. And in fact, in that specific instance, this is a family business in Sao Paulo, lovely people, and in 2020, we helped them secure a supply of this just incredible cacao that is harvested from the deepest jungles in the upper Amazon. And the way we had to do that was by guaranteeing the families in this community of Novo Horizonte that we personally would guarantee the purchase of 100% of their wild harvested cacao. And we've done that for the past 5 years. So when tariffs go up from 6%, which they were before, to 56% overnight, we can't just abandon those people. They've built lives around this river community, around our chocolate bar. It sounds crazy, but this deli in Salt Lake, like, we have those types of commitments. So to honor those commitments, in certain cases like that, we just eat the tariffs. And what that means is when we sell those chocolate bars, we are literally selling it for less than it costs us to maintain our commitments. Now, luckily we don't have to do that on every product, but on certain products we've had to do that on. In other products, we can absorb some of it, but at the end of the day, we had to pass it on to our customers. And so, yeah, the reality is prices have gone up quite a bit. We're thrilled about the Supreme Court ruling today, but operationally, the Customs and Border Protection still has duties and tariffs being collected as of today. So when we'll stop paying those tariffs, I'm not exactly sure. We have to wait to see when they're going to issue their guidance. But even as they go away, it's as a business person, I'm left to think like, well, what is Trump going to do next? Like, how is our government going to react to this? Are they going to just like okay, the tariffs are gone today. Is he going to find some other mechanism for putting them back on? So we don't really know what to expect. And like I said, it takes a lot of effort to adjust prices every time. So as a small refunds, but most small businesses like us, that's a pretty intense legal and executive process that has to happen to even hope to get money back from tariffs. I don't know that we're going to be able to navigate that. Certainly most small businesses won't be able to. But the lasting impact of what this has done to the confidence in America as a trading partner, I'm sure that we as a small business, with our relationships, we can overcome it. But there's no doubt that it has created some reason for concerns for our suppliers. Yeah.
On Utah's Capitol Hill today, advocates with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network lobbied legislators to pass a bill that would increase the tax on tobacco products. Cigarettes would be taxed at $2 per pack. House Bill 337 has passed a committee and is awaiting further action on the House floor. 2 News spoke with an advocate from the American Cancer Society about why they're pushing for this bill to get passed.
Our priority bill this session is House Bill 337, and essentially what it would do is raise the tax on tobacco in the state of Utah for the first time in 16 years. So both the tax on cigarettes and then also the tax on other tobacco products.
Does that include, just popped into my head, like some of those Zyn?
Yep, it does include the pouches. Yep, we're trying to kind of change the way that pouches are taxed. You know, those products are not a cessation device, right? They haven't been through the same approval process as something like a gum or a pouch. And we know a lot of kids are using them. Kids who have never smoked, who have never used any other tobacco product. So we want to make sure they're taxed in a way that really discourages youth. And we know when you raise the tax on tobacco products, it encourages people to quit smoking, and it keeps kids from starting to use those products. So we think it's a really important piece of legislation and hope the legislature will agree with us.
There are people at home who are like, I don't smoke, I never smoke, nobody smokes anymore. Why is this bill still important?
You know, I think that is a natural thought for someone who lives in Utah. So about just under 6% of Utahns smoke. So there are still people in this state that smoke. But tobacco use costs this state millions of dollars in healthcare costs, in lost productivity. So it is still incredibly impactful on this state. And I think even for those people that don't use tobacco products, we know the tobacco industry is targeting kids. They need new people to use their products. So even if you don't know anybody that uses a tobacco product, kids are starting to use these products at what I would call an alarming rate. And taxes are proven to help prevent that. So I think, again, even if you don't know anyone who smokes, this bill still matters.
Coming up here on Arc Salt Lake, it's been 2 years since UDOT installed new safety measures for avalanches. Are those mitigation efforts working?
2 News wants to see how you celebrate 250 years of amazing America. Scan the QR code or go to KUTV.com/chime in. Click Submit Content and pick Amazing America 250 from the drop-down. Whether it's your favorite monument, your favorite park, around the state, or around the country, we want to see and share whatever makes you proud to be American. Thank you for being a part of 2 News and Amazing America 250.
been almost 2 years since UDOT installed new technology. It's called a VESAN tower. They're up here on the hills there. Steep slopes in Little Cottonwood Canyon. Helps with avalanche mitigation there in one of the more avalanche-prone canyons in our country. 2 News' Brian Will spoke to UDOT to see if it's keeping people safer.
Over 10,000 vehicles pass through these canyons every day.
Big Cottonwood's usually easier to get up and down. Little can be challenging.
There's 64 different slide paths along Little Cottonwood Canyon alone. That makes SR 210 one of the most challenging in terms of avalanche control work in the world.
In a rare move, the Utah Department of Transportation has only had to close Little Cottonwood Canyon once this winter for avalanche control. That was this week after the most recent storm.
How has avalanche control changed over the years, and has it gotten better?
I think it has gotten better. We're still using the howitzer in those places where it makes sense, but we've been able to replace the howitzer where you're firing the live artillery over buildings. We've been able to replace that in a lot of areas with the towers.
In the last few years, they've installed 28 avalanche mitigation towers like this one, instead of firing live rounds over the town of Alta. Now the howitzer is based out of Snowbird and is used mostly for mid to lower canyon.
These avalanches are going to happen. We want them to happen when the road is closed and there's not live traffic moving through there.
UDOT has an entire team that monitors these canyons year-round, while drivers are just looking for the most efficient and safest route through these areas.
I think there are lots of debate on different ways to improve the situation in the Cottonwoods, but I think they're doing a good job generally.
The Utah Avalanche Center tells me the risk for avalanches remains high throughout the rest of the weekend and are urging extreme caution. Reporting at the mouth of the canyon, Brian Will, KUTV 2 News.
Well, in California, authorities are investigating where there were any factors that could have been considered criminal negligence in the avalanche that killed at least 8 skiers near Lake Tahoe. The Nevada County Sheriff says officials are working to learn why the group continued with their trip after an avalanche watch was issued on Sunday, just 2 days before the deadly slide. California's Division of Occupational Safety and Health also investigating Blackbird mountain guides, which led the ski trip. 1 skier from the group is still missing and presumed dead. And with the snow we've been getting in the mountains, there is an avalanche warning in place across most of our state. Right now, avalanche danger is considered high in all of our mountains. Everyone is asked to avoid the backcountry until further notice. If you do ski outside a resort boundary, forecasters say it's important to go in groups, have the proper equipment just in case you trigger a slide. Also important to note, yes, I know the high avalanche danger is daunting, but at the end of the day, most of our fatalities occur when that danger level is actually lower in the considerable range. Just something to think about when you're thinking about going out in the backcountry.
This is definitely a really good childhood memory I'll have for a long time.
Yeah, good for that kid, right? Cedar City had it going on today. Students enjoying their snow day, first one in 10 years. Due to last night's storm, the Iron County School District canceled all classes today. By the way, this was my childhood. I think this is remarkable, moving to Utah, that this school district hadn't had a snow day since February 1st, 2016. We used to have multiple a year. We used to have delays all the time. It was just a thing growing up. New England kid here. And I moved to Utah and I wonder what is up with this. But hey, the kids finally got a taste of what is up with a real snow day. And by the way, sorry parents, couldn't be happier for your kids to get to experience that at least once in their lifetime. Let's get to your forecast now with meteorologist Chase Thomason here. Chase and I think he mentioned earlier at 5 o'clock that he had maybe 1 snow day in his school career. I'm sure I had dozens. I feel very fortunate to have been able to enjoy those, but we're here to check and see if more snow's on the way.
We had 3 pretty decent snowstorms across the entire state of Utah this week. Southern Utah hit the hardest, though, with our third storm last night and this morning. Within the last 24 hours, Bryan had picking up almost 2 feet of snow. New Harmony, 18 inches. Kanosh, 11 in central Utah. Orderville, 10. Kanab in far southern Utah, 9 inches. Panguitch, 8. Richfield, 6. And Cedar City, it was a snow day with 5 inches of snow. And take a look at Leeds. This is pretty close to the St. George area, a little bit higher up, but they picked up a couple inches of snow on that desert soil. Love to see that. I'm sure a lot of it did melt, though, this afternoon with those temperatures into the 40s. It does get cold, though, for tonight. We've had some lingering evening showers in northern Utah, but drier air is moving in. We'll see decreasing clouds, and those temperatures will be in the teens up towards Ogden, 10 in Logan. So really, any Friday night plans, please bundle up. It's going to be quite cold, especially through tomorrow morning. In the Wasatch Back, we'll see those single digits. 8 tonight in Richfield, 6 in Cedar City, and St. George coming in at 25 degrees. Then those temperatures will be rebounding a bit. We're still below normal. We'll see highs in the upper 30s and low 40s in northern and central Utah. Vernal, you're at 35 degrees, but with the sunshine, not bad, and melting more of that snow. St. George coming in at 50 degrees. And those temperatures continue to climb as we head into the weekend. For your Sunday, we'll have milder weather, mostly sunny skies, and highs near 50 degrees, which is a couple degrees above average. So our next weather maker is a ridge of high pressure that begins to settle in as we head into the weekend. So sunny weather Saturday and Sunday, maybe a couple high clouds, but definitely no rain or snow. But that high is really on top of us by Monday, and that's when those temperatures are climbing. We're talking 50s in northern Utah, 60s down south, and it might get even warmer by the end of the week. But we do have a storm that's going to be brushing us by. Right now, Tuesday at noon is looking dry, but by Tuesday night, we start to see a few showers. It's looking like valley rain and mountain snow with this system, just too mild to see those snow levels come down to the valley floor. But we'll have some decent rain for your Wednesday morning commute, and there will be snow in the mountains that could have a couple travel issues, and we could see some spotty showers throughout the afternoon on Wednesday, mainly just some clouds down in southern Utah. You'll stay dry with that storm. So enjoy the sunshine in St. George. A little cold at night, but temperatures in the 50s in the afternoon. And then the 60s are back by Monday and Tuesday, which is a few degrees above average. And your temperature continues to climb. We'll be in the 70s beginning on Wednesday. And then by the end of the week and into next weekend, temperatures in the mid-70s down in southern Utah. Salt Lake, mostly sunny skies over the weekend. Notice we're back into the mid-50s, so a lot of that snow that's on the valley floor is going to be gone by early in the week. There's that storm Tuesday night into Wednesday with valley rain. We drop just a few degrees into the upper 40s on Wednesday. Then the 50s return on Thursday and next Friday and Saturday. Highs in Salt Lake and across northern Utah getting close to 60 degrees, feeling a little bit more like spring.
Coming up here on Arc Salt Lake, when Real Salt Lake plays its first home game of the MLS season. Real Salt Lake kicking off their MLS season tomorrow against Vancouver in Canada. Game gets going at 5:30. The team is trying to snap a 2-game road losing streak in their openers. They lost to San Jose last year, Inter Miami the year before. RSL, the home opener is next Saturday against Seattle Sounders FC. New Mammoth Ice Center is now open. The facility is at the Southtown Mall in Sandy. They will use this facility to train. They've already been doing it. People can also come and learn to play hockey and skate here on select days. Right now, the Mammoth are on Olympic break. They're back on the ice officially February 25th against Colorado. Take a look at some new video from our friends at Bryan Head Resort in southern Utah. Great place, by the way. The resort picked up 23 inches in 24 hours, 34 inches in 48 hours. It brings the total to 4.5 feet of new snow this week. 100% of the resort's terrain is open with a 62-inch base. Get out and shred it. Why not? Southern Utah's got it. We'll see you back here on Monday after the Corey Richards trial, day 1.